This is such a good move for you Columbus Blue Jackets fans. You guys should be so happy about this. So, Boston Bruins acquire Andrew Peeke in a trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets for Jakub Zboril. Let's go with that. He's an AHLer, as well as a third-round pick. Now, I'm gonna quick knock out the Blue Jackets part because I'm gonna come back to it. So the Jakub Zboril was drafted 13th overall. I'm pretty sure this was the abysmal draft that Boston had. It is tough because they went 3 in a row, I believe. Yeah, that's the one. Let me remove the title real quick. So you can see they drafted Zach Senyshyn, Jacob DeBrus, and Jakub Zboril all in the first round in a row, which is crazy, by the way. And they didn't hit. They could have gotten Matt Barzal, Kyle Connor, Thomas Chabot as the next pick. I mean, even Ilya Samsonov, Brock Besser, Travis Konechny, Jack. Like you missed on 2 first-round draft picks in the same draft when you had 3. That's just no bueno. So that is the legacy of him. His contract is up, by the way, at the end of this year, so Columbus doesn't have to retain him. So he may resign the AHL or do something like that, but it's just fine. So, anywho, that's Jakub Zboril. So I want to go over, and also now we're going over to Andrew Peeke before we go to the Boston Bruins lineup. Andrew Peeke, as Jay Fresh has actually mentioned right here, acquired by Boston's physical defense only depth right defenseman. He was actually healthy scratched a lot, losing his spot in the lineup, especially for Columbus because Columbus, there's a lot of defensemen, so you're like, okay, what do you do for the team? What is your role in the team? And just couldn't figure it out. So that is great for Columbus. Let's stick with Boston. Again, you get a defense only guy. He's gonna play in your third pair. That's what we have here, right? You have Matt Grzelcyk, you have Charlie McAvoy, Hampus Lindholm, Brandon Carlo, Mason Laurie. Has been playing well. So you have Andrew Peeke, just again shutdown guy, defense only. So that's awesome. Hey, good for Boston Bruins. You guys get a piece. And also the nice thing about Andrew Peeke is you actually have him under contract for 2 years after this. So again, that's where you're trading a third round pick, which feels expensive for maybe a rental like Andrew Peeke, who's not playing very well. But if he can pan out over the next year or two and you continue to get success out of him and you're able to help him find his game, awesome. Then that's totally worth it for Boston Bruins. So good for you guys. Now, Columbus Blue Jackets fans, I'm talking to you guys. To me, this is massive. And I made a video about the Columbus Blue Jackets and pardon my French, but the shit show that they had, especially on defense. They sent down Kent Johnson. They sent down Adam Fantilli. They had sent, and by the way, Kent Johnson had surgery on his shoulder. And then you send down Jiricek as well. It's because you know why? Because you have too many players. They were just, or no, maybe you didn't send down Fantilli. Anyways, either way, you were sending down these guys who are here to develop, and on a bad team, by the way. So this is huge because you guys were running 7 defensemen, and you guys had Columbus Blue Jackets had so many people. Look at the contracts now, right? You even moving on Andrew Peeke, you only person if you don't qualify Jake Bean as an RFA. I don't know if they will. I mean, has he played well? I don't know. You really want to get Jiricek in here. You know he's ready. He's outplaying AHL competition. He's NHL ready. So you had to move one of those contracts. And moving out Andrew Peeke was a phenomenal move. A phenomenal move because you have to have space for your rookies to come in. You don't want, and this happened to the Red Wings. I know because I watched them. They didn't bring up any rookies this year, and now they're probably going to end up bringing 2 rookies up next year. Potentially, in Berggren and Edmondson, which is similar to your guys' Kent Johnson and David Jiricek. If there's no spots for them, you can't just kind of stuff them in. You have to allow them to develop slowly and grow into position. But you can't have so many rookies out there without enough leadership to kind of help take over and encase them. And when you have too much blocking, that's happened with the Red Wings. They signed too many free agents. And right now, they traded for Severson, signed him that massive contract. Traded for Ivan Provorov. And now he got him for next year, too. So, in my head, Columbus is still not ready next year, but you have a spot now. Again, if you don't qualify Jake Bean, actually, even if you do qualify him, he can still act as a 7th defenseman. I don't know what his stats are, but you have the opportunity now to fit Jiricek into your lineup so that he can continue to try and find success in the NHL. He's played well before. So I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. It's a great move. That is peak. Peeke. Did not mean to do that. I thought it was a Peeke move. Great move. I'm all about that. So Columbus Blue Jackets should be very happy. You essentially was a cap dump to a team that actually wanted Andrew Peeke. So, and it's going to the playoffs, so he gets playoff time too. So good for him. It's exciting. Like it's a win-win in my opinion. And Boston gets to move off Zaboral because there's just I just made fun at the start of the video. So, and you do it for a 3rd round pick that's 3 years from now. You don't care. You don't care. So, anyways, like, subscribe. Love you. Catch you soon. And let me know what your thoughts are. Peace.